And we are live. Hello, guys. Welcome to True Crime News with Jay and Toby in the morning. I am so sorry if you joined us about 20 minutes ago. We started a show and had to cut it short because I got a message from somebody saying that they were stranded in my family. And as soon as we got ready to go, their car started. So they are okay now. So I apologize for that, but we had to run out for that just in case. And false alarm. So now we can get going. I don't know if anybody is here yet, but that is why we had to cut it short, and that's why I'm back so soon. So sorry about that. I'll do a little intro real quick in case you didn't watch that last show and you're just joining us. If you're not familiar with our show here, we're the sister show to the main Jason Hebert channel, where I interview the loved ones of missing persons and unsolved crimes in an effort to help spread awareness and bring justice. This morning show is a bit of an extension to that nighttime program and works a bit differently. Instead of interviewing the subjects, we instead take a look at the stories from a third-party perspective and look at sorry, I lost my script there. And look at them from a third-party perspective and give our own opinions on them, as well as communicating with you guys, the subscribers, through the chat in an effort to get to know you guys better. Hey, AJ, sorry about that. I don't know if you heard me when I first started up, but I'd gotten a message from a family member. They were stranded. That's why I had to go quick. And as soon as I shut everything down and got ready, they said, oh, never mind, the car started. I'm like, ugh. That's why I come right back here. So that's what happened. We do also raise money during this show to support the efforts required to find the families we interview, research their cases, promote their stories, and everything else that comes along with the time-intensive processes that make up the nearly 125 interviews we have on our channel. So if you can donate to support, we do appreciate you. If you do decide to help out, you will get a shout out on screen like such right here. Hey, Jenny. Hopefully you heard me why I had to leave and come back. So right where it says the N/A there, guys, that's where you will go if you decide that you can help out the channel. Keep in mind, we do also have an interview tonight at 9 p.m. on the main channel. We also have another one coming Monday. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, family first. So if you got to shut it down, you got to shut it down. What was I going to do? More important than a internet thing, right? But luckily, as soon as I was getting ready to go, they're like, oh, we're fine. This is my sister. Okay, my baby sister. So you know I'm super protective of her. Right where it says N/A, that's where you will go if you decide to donate to support the channel. And lastly, if you're not familiar, every donation gets Toby a treat right here. But for the first 15 minutes or so, we'll call it 20. So it's 7:20 right now. So if you donate within the first 15, 20 minutes or so, it's called the lightning round. It gets Toby double treats. So if you can donate to support, the link is in the description as well as in the chat. Good morning, Chris. What's up, man? Which is right there. So if you do decide to donate to support, you'll go right where the N/A is. Links in the description in the chat. We do appreciate you guys. We love you. You guys are basically what keeps us going with your donations and support. So it makes a huge, huge difference. So if you can donate, we greatly appreciate you. And that's basically it. Get Toby his double treats, and he'll start dancing and going crazy. Right, buddy? You okay? You awake today? He's a little tired from yesterday because we were going for about 3 hours yesterday. I think he's okay today. All right, we got 7 people in here, so we got him building up. Hello to everybody. So we had to cancel real quick earlier. Now we're back. So let's kind of keep going with our stories. I will keep an eye on the donations to try to give you guys your credit as soon as they come in. So get the main screen loaded up here because the emails don't always come right in. And now the main screen is freezing. There it goes. Okay. That way we'll know. So I'll check it a couple times throughout the next 15 minutes for the lightning round. But we have 90 people found in a possible human smuggling case in Houston. 90 people in one house. I know that area is a hotbed of this kind of activity. People coming over from Mexico, of course. I know the great percentage of them probably just trying to better their lives, I would imagine. So it's really, really a sad situation if you think about it. But I know there are two sides to that story. I'm not someone that gets into politics and all that. I'm just the kind of person that hopes everybody is okay, you know. I try to sympathize with everybody. So about 90 people were found inside a Houston home on Friday in what police believe is a human smuggling case. Officers were tipped off on Thursday after receiving a call of potential kidnapping. Houston Police Assistant Chief Darwin Edwards said during a press conference. Once officers arrived on the scene, they realized this is actually going to turn into a human smuggling investigation. So somebody, I guess, looked over, saw 90 freaking people in the house. It must have said, are they kidnapped? What the hell is going on in that house? How do you even fit 90 people in a house? What were they, like, just slammed like sardines against the walls and stuff? That's a little crazy. It must have been a mansion. I mean, I know the houses are big, like down south, and sometimes in the Midwest, they're a lot bigger than here in Boston, where they're tiny. But that is a little crazy. When we got to the house and we realized there were over 90 people inside, we immediately began to assess any kind of a special threat inside, Edwards said. It was a big surprise when we got in that house and saw what we saw. He added that the people were huddled together in the two-story home. Of course they were. But they were not tied up, and police have no knowledge of any firearms. So that's a good thing. That's what I mean, is I think they're just trying to get the heck out of wherever they're coming from. Yeah, for sure, Chris. I don't know where everyone stands on it. I know this is a topic that gets people really riled up. So I honestly tend to try to avoid it because I don't look at it from the political end. I'm not a political person whatsoever. But to me, it's just sad that people even have to do this, you know? It's really sad. I don't know if they were going to parcel them off into doing some work or labor, but it's definitely more of a smuggling thing and not a trafficking thing, Edwards said. This is probably just a little home where they stop in between wherever they're going to section them off to each individual city. Like they said, parcel them off. Let me just grab a water, guys. Give me 1 second. I hope Annie's okay, guys. We were talking, and you know how you can see when someone's typing, it shows the 3 dots? Well, it said that she's been typing for the last like 30, 40 minutes, but it doesn't say that she saw my last few messages. So if she was typing, it would automatically read what I was sending. So I don't know if her computer died or if, I hope she's okay. I don't know what's going on. Kind of scary. It's a victory over serious crime. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. 100%. Can't have 90 people in one house. So the address is 12200 Chessington Drive, Houston. Shows the police there. After dozens of persons are found inside the residence, the incident initially reported as a kidnapping may possibly involve human smuggling. Let me see. 9-minute ties too. Oh, okay. Wow, they got a lot of stuff going on in that new Delphi guy too. I really hope that something comes of that. So Edwards said there were no children found inside the house, with the youngest person found being in their early 20s and the oldest in their late 30s. All right, so no kids. That's good. No elderly. That's good. It's dangerous to take them on those trips. Plus, you hear about awful things happening on those trips. So thank God nobody was hurt that way. The Houston Fire Department provided medical care, food, and water to the people, who were comprised of roughly 5 women, with the rest being men. Wow. Inside the 2-story house, who said they hadn't eaten in a while, according to Edwards. Some of the people were exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19, oh boy, including fever and loss of taste and smell. And rapid tests are being conducted while the people remain isolated in the house. That's not a good situation, huh? Can you imagine having a ton of people crammed in like sardines and some have COVID? That's going to spread like, I don't care if you're wearing a mask. That's too much. How sad. I mean, it's one of the 2 in general life too. No, I'm not, Jenny. I avoid it like the plague. the way that I live my life is I try to focus every day on having a good day and being happy. And there are certain things when you get involved in them, people just become miserable, and that's one of them. I feel with me, it does. I start like listening to an issue and siding with one side, and then whoever's on the other side will say something that pisses me off, and then they're pissed off. I feel like people who are super into politics are always angry about something, and that's the opposite of how I try to live my life. So if you are into them, I'm not trying to act like I know any better than you. Believe me, just not for me. That's all. Maybe she fell asleep or dropped something on her space bar and it's typing. Oh yeah, maybe. We miss you, Annie is right. I know, imagine if her space bar is just going. She must have typed 75,000 things, spaces by now. But yeah, she still hasn't read my thing. You know what, guys? I'm going to see if it lets me call her. Hang on one second. I don't think you guys will hear it. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to mute myself. Just want to see if she's okay. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back, guys. We got Annie. She's okay. I am a sports guy, absolutely. As is pretty much everybody from Boston, right? When you say, isn't everyone from America political? Not really. I mean, a lot of people are, but almost everyone from Boston is a big sports person, especially the guys. Did I unmute myself? Let me see something. What makes you think that, Chris G? I've probably said some things referencing it, AJ. I would assume that's why he's guessing that. I think that's why, although I don't know for sure. Man, that hasn't changed yet. Okay. So we're concerned there may be some positive COVID cases, said the police, inside the house, adding that the Houston Health Department is conducting the rapid COVID testing. There have been no arrests made yet in this case. Once COVID testing is complete, police will work to identify both the dozens of people found as well as potential smugglers. An investigation is ongoing. I'll assume the people who own the house would be in trouble too, right? I mean, unless they were on vacation and somebody was using their house or something. But they're probably the actual smugglers, or if not, tied in with them. Hey, there's Annie. Oh God. Hi. Annie, we just locked in another interview for Monday, by the way. It still says you're typing, Annie. But yeah, we just locked in another interview for Monday, guys. So we got one for tonight and one for Monday. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't realize I didn't have my cigarettes on me. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. We got Annie. You guys don't need me when you have Annie. Oh, we got 9 people here now. Cool. Come on in, guys. Come join. All right, everybody. Good morning, everyone who's here. I've got about 10 people here now. Annie, how stupid do I feel when you jokingly said, I'm writing a book? Now I know that you meant that's why I said you're typing for 35 minutes. But I literally thought you meant that's why you weren't responding to me, because you were like writing a book away from you. How stupid do I feel that I thought you meant that? All right, guys. So that's another thing I love about my channel is we can talk about cases like this, 90 people smuggling and all that. And we don't have super political people. So nobody fights over it and everybody just gets along, right? So I appreciate that about you guys. So thank you for allowing us to. I think this is one getting a message from someone. I always get to check and see if they're families, but they're usually stupid, like scam people trying to. Have you heard about the new money you can get from Facebook? So I think that's who this person is and not a family, but I still got to check to be safe. Okay, so again, an investigation's ongoing, and I'm sure whoever owns that house with the 90 people in it is in trouble. So we've covered this guy a lot lately. Josh Duggar. His attorneys have responded to the child P-word charges. If you guys have been following, you'll know this guy's pretty bad news from what we can make out. Family seems very wholesome on TV, but this guy's past says otherwise. Things about him touching 5 girls, including 2 of his sisters when they were younger, when he was, I think, a teen, late teen maybe. All kinds of stuff. Now he's been charged with having child P-word. Try not to say the phrase on here, guys. Sorry, because, the YouTube algorithm doesn't like that phrase too much. So try to be very, very careful about saying those words. So, in this country, no one can stop prosecutors from charging a crime, says his attorneys. But when you're accused, you can fight back in the courtroom. Wow, making it sound so noble. Like they're going to go in there and defend their man. Well, you know what? When there's smoke, there's fire, guys. And your man seems to get charged for disgusting stuff an awful lot. Yeah, he's been arrested now. He's been charged with a lot of stuff. And child P-word is just one of the most recent ones. We got a video here. Let me see. I'm going to try not to play the video because there's always music and stuff. And it gets me scared about getting copyright things. So let's take a look at what this dirtbag has to say. I would love to interview someone like this. Get him on there, right? See what this guy has to say. Or someone that knows him. I bet I could get a family member. But I kind of try to avoid cases like this. I like to do things that help people. When I do the missing persons interviews, I feel like I'm helping. Oh, really? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at something else. Okay. So he's pled not guilty to both charges, and we intend to defend this case aggressively and thoroughly, the attorneys Justin Gelfand, Travis Story, and Greg Payne said in a statement. In this country, no one can stop, blah, blah, blah. Same thing again. The 33-year-old former 19 kids and counting star and eldest son of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, who faced a previous scandal after reports in 2015 that he M-worded 5 underage girls when he was a teenager, was arrested by agents with Homeland Security on Thursday. How are you going to put this guy on TV when he's done that to 5 different girls? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm all for if a guy gets accused of something like that, not just accusing him outright, like instantly. I'm all for that. People, because that could ruin someone's life totally. But when you have 5 of them, are all 5 lying? I mean, come on. Now pregnant with their son. Yeah, I know. He's on 19 kids and counting. I don't know anything about the show, AJ. I thought he was the dad yesterday. So I was like reading the story wrong. But yeah, he's one of the kids, I guess. This kid has touched his own sisters. Just a sicko. If you're just joining, guys, if you would like to support the show, this is the link to do so. If anybody does, we got 5 minutes left on the lightning round, which gets Toby double treats. So if anyone wants to support, we appreciate you. There goes all of my tobacco on these stupid rolled cigarettes, which are, if you've ever rolled your own cigarettes, you know they are not that tight. So when you see my ashes falling all over the place, that's why. But I shouldn't even smoke anyways, right? So Josh appeared for his initial hearing during Zoom. We read about this yesterday. On Friday in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Arkansas, his attorney declined to have the judge read the charges against him, though federal prosecutors said he faces one count of receipt of child P-word and one count of possession of child P-word. So with what he's already done, combined with this, guys, I'm thinking he might be going down. I don't know what you guys think, but there are only I don't care if you're famous or not, there are only so many times you're going to get away with some sick stuff, especially when it starts to point towards the same kind of character flaw, right? All sex-related stuff. I don't know what the parents are like, but something's up with this kid, and he shouldn't even be on TV. I don't know if they still do the show, but if they do, call it 18 Kids and Counting. Get the 19th one out of there. See you, buddy. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, thank you. He was 14 years old when the assault on his sisters and babies still wasn't taken. Oh, is that what it was? I thought it said he was later teens, but still. But yeah, but from what I read, one was 8 years younger, one was 9 years. So if he's 14, they were what, 5 and 4? I mean, I understand he was young too, but at 14, you know not to go anywhere near that with your sisters. I mean, that is some gross, gross stuff. What do you guys think? If he's 14, should we give him, should we take it lighter? I mean, I can see taking it lighter than an adult for sure, but I don't know. I think back, to me, like 14, 15 is really the age where you're really starting to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like 12, you're not a teen yet. I get it. But 14, 15, you're dating and stuff. You know what you're doing. The most famous book on romance, Romeo and Juliet, they were what, 12 and 13 in the book, because back in those days, since people didn't live as long, they that's when they would court each other. So 14 isn't really that young. We tend to think of it nowadays as being young because we live a lot longer, and it's not like a full adult, but I don't know. I can't agree that he should get less charges. At the very most, give him a little less time than someone who's 18. I get that, but it needs to be taken just as seriously. He pled not guilty and remains in custody pending a bail hearing on Wednesday. So, I mean, this show, how long has this show been going on? Because, like, he looks old. Some of these kids look definitely like in their mid to late 20s. I mean, how old are the parents? And there's 19 of them. He's not even the oldest. He was the oldest. Okay, I'm getting everything wrong. Of the 19 kids in the family, he was sent away to a religious type camp for a while. And when he came back, his parents took him to the police station to report the assaults on the kids. Oh. So maybe the kids didn't tell their parents what happened until he went away. Is that what it was? They were scared of him or something, but once he was out of the house, they felt comfortable coming forward. Is that what happened? Not in a million years. I agree with you, Chris. Federal prosecutors said in a news release that Josh allegedly used the internet to download the abuse material. He allegedly possessed this material, some of which depicts the SA of children under the age of 12. See, this guy's into kids. Yeah, his siblings were like 4 and 5 when he touched them, and now he's downloading stuff of kids under 12. Do you think he got off a little because his parents are like famous too? Do you think that helped out? The indictment against him, which is reviewed by people, specifies those dates to between or around May 14th and May 16th of 2019 in the Duggars' home state of Arkansas. Josh could be sentenced to up to 20 years in prison or $250,000 fine per charge if convicted. The investigation is being led by Homeland Security and the Northwest Arkansas Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. If Homeland Security gets involved, doesn't that mean you're in some shit? I mean, do they always get involved for something like that? That sounds like a pretty extreme group to be getting involved in, like some kind of normal case. Am I wrong? Homeland Security, that's for like terrorists and stuff. I don't know. Call me crazy. It's early, guys. Thank you, Annie. If anybody wants to support, we'll do. We're going to do a half goal today. Today is this. I'm working tomorrow, so today is going to be the last day for at least a couple days. I'm going to try to sneak a show in here and there, but I won't be able to do another one today. That's for sure. So we'll just do a half goal for today. We'll do a $50 goal. Maybe we can try that, right? Oh, that was yesterday's. So that link is the one Annie put. Appreciate it, Annie. Right now we have nobody, but we have a goal of 50 for the day, guys. If we can hit it, that would be amazing. Everything goes towards helping the channel grow to find more families and all that stuff. We do have an interview scheduled for tonight at 9 p.m. on the main channel. We have another one scheduled for Monday at 9 p.m. on the main channel. Oh, excuse me, allergies. And we have 2 more pending. So I'm going to I would like to get to where like every other day I'm doing one for now. And then eventually maybe every day. But we already got 2 scheduled. So I'm pumped about that. The Boston Celtics still alive and kicking. Yeah, they are. I have many TV, but they can't stay consistent. They'll have an awesome game, horrible game, awesome game, horrible game. No American basketball games. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish they were still alive and kicking. He went to his parents and confessed that he had touched his sisters on top of their pages. Oh my goodness, while they were sleeping. Seems he had issues with small years from his teenage. Yeah, for sure. Every time he's getting in trouble, it's from young girls. Even the stuff that he downloaded was under 12. I mean, those are kids. Those aren't developed. Sickening. My interview is with Jessica Nuttila. It's Knuutila. It's actually a part 2. So make sure to check it out. It's a really good one. We interviewed before, but she wants to come forward. And she wants to kind of name someone. I'm going to do what I usually do and say that we can't outright accuse anyone and all that. But, she wants to kind of say some stuff that she found out that she didn't know in the first interview. So that'll be good. And then for the second one, actually, it's a case that we found on this morning show. If you guys remember, like 3 or 4 days ago, I was reading a couple cases and then I said, hey, should I message the mothers of these cases? And you guys said, yeah. Well, one of them wants to do the show and it's going to be done Monday. So that's the second one. It's really, really cool stuff, guys. I would definitely like to get back to doing a minimum of 4 interviews a night. We gotta keep those going strong, No problem, AJ. This morning show is fun too, and it's very helpful to me. So I gotta keep it going at least a few days a week. But the heart of the channel, the meat of the channel is definitely our interviews. I love doing those. That's kind of become like my passion, those interviews. Because of anything I've done in my life, I feel like I'm really helping people with those, 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm doing like 5 things at once, like usual. And okay, so what else is there? How's everybody doing today? Okay. I'm checking something else while we're doing this. What was the second one? Hang on 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to kind of be running around, and since I'm doing a couple things at once, something work related, they have me going all over the place these couple days to pick up. I had to pick up some boots because you have to wear certain kind of boots there, so they give them to you. Even though I said I have my own boots, they're like, no. And then I got to go get something else from the main office. Then I got to go to the site to meet the people. So it's kind of crazy. So I'm making phone calls. I'm rushing around doing a bunch of stuff. Hey, we got our first donation from Gudborg, I'm sorry, for $5. Thank you, Gudborg. Good morning, Chris. Gudborg for $5. First donation. Get this down to 45 goal. All righty. Good morning, Chris. Chris with a K. We got double treats for Toby. Alrighty. Give me 1 second, everybody. It's a little hectic here this morning. 1 second. And you say, thank you, Gudborg. Thank you. I'm not sure if it's Gudborg or Gudborg. I'm not sure exactly how to say it. Thank you, AJ. I'm really pumped about it. It's going to really help turn things around for me, I think. Just got to get through the first couple weeks, you know. Always love those first couple weeks where you're waiting for the paycheck. And then things should be good. Hey, good morning, Jenny. I believe that's Jenny. Michael Jordan, the best for sure. Yeah, he was. But I'm more of a Larry Bird guy for obvious reasons. I got to go to the bathroom, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry. Running around taking care of things. I think I'm going to put a halt on the Josh Duggar stories unless it's a major update because we're constantly getting stories about this guy, and I don't want to hear about him defending himself anymore, to be honest with you. You're a Magic Johnson guy. Chris, get out. Get out, bro. I'm just kidding. No, I got to tell you, typically when I side with an athlete, I hate like whoever their rival is, you know, like if you're on the Celtics, you hate the Lakers, that kind of thing. Totally. And I'm sure you do the same. But I actually love Magic Johnson. There was something like, I don't know if it's because I was a kid or just the way that the rivalry was, how they kind of rejuvenated the NBA. But I love the whole Bird and Magic thing. Like, I feel like you can't have one without the other. Like, if you love one, you have to super appreciate the other. Like, if you're a Magic guy, you can't hate Bird. Like, in one sense you do, because he was his biggest rival. You know what I mean? But you still appreciate Bird. Because those two were totally on a whole other level. Like, they ran the league. They were here, and everyone else was just a little bit below, you know? They saved the NBA. They totally changed like how the game was played. They were both just amazing. I'm more of a Bird guy, obviously, because he's for the Celtics. Who knows? If Magic was in the Celtics, I probably would have been a Magic guy because they did win more titles. So they overall won the rivalry. I hate to say that. Not the overall rivalry because we've beat them way more times in the playoffs than they beat us in the finals. But they won that little 80s rivalry between Magic and Bird. But, man, you like one, you have to like the other. You just have to. All right, guys. So a beloved Indiana community leader who sang in a Vietnamese choir is found dismembered in a minivan. Oh, my. Shane was a loving father, husband, and a beloved member of every community he touched, a GoFundMe page states. The family of an Indiana man who was found dismembered in the back of his minivan is mourning their loved one as police search for a motive. Shane was a loving father, husband, and a beloved member of every community he touched. Tran Hoang wrote about his cousin Shane Nguyen on a GoFundMe page. He'll always be remembered for being kind, welcoming, and available to help anyone in need. Dismembered in the van. Who would do something like that? This name, I've seen it pronounced Nguyen, Nguyen, but I've also seen it pronounced Win, like W-I-N. So I don't know how you guys pronounce it. But I grew up with the David Nguyen, so that's how it was always said. But as I get older, I see Win said a lot more than Nguyen. I like Magic Johnson because he's a survivor of disease. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, definitely appreciate that. That's crazy I know he has a lot of money to be able to, buy whatever he needs to, get over it. But it's amazing that he seems perfectly okay now, Like I understand him still being alive, but he seems like the healthiest guy on earth. I don't know anyone else that has had that disease that is in that kind of shape. So bravo to him. I pray one day, AIDS and cancer, those are the two things, man. Once we get rid of them, just imagine how much better life's going to be. It's like millions upon millions of people are going to be living 10, 20, 30 extra years. How many people did those diseases take out? It's just insane. Who knows? Maybe another one will creep up. Seems like there's always some new disease, right? As soon as you eradicate one, another one comes. I'm excited for my job tomorrow, guys. Super excited. The good thing is I get a lot of downtime. It's a machinist job where I'm working on machines and stuff. But like half the shift, they told me, you'll just be sitting there waiting for projects to come in. So they told me you can bring a phone, you can bring work to do, schoolwork, whatever. And so I'm going to bring my phone. And what I'm going to do while I'm sitting there and waiting I'll be getting paid, just sitting there and waiting for work to come in, I'll be scheduling interviews. So I think I'm going to get back to where we have interviews every night or every other night. It's looking really good. 1 second, guys. Just sent you one message, Amy. No, I don't think you care, but just in case you were wondering. All right. So, Nguyen, or Win, 55 years old, was reported missing by his family on April 23rd. Authorities issued an overnight statewide silver alert, which ended early Sunday morning when Win's body was found in the back of his minivan. According to a Fort Wayne Police Department spokesperson, the van had crashed into a backyard after a high-speed chase with police. The two people inside allegedly fled the scene, but were later identified as Matthew Kramer, who's 21, and Jacob Carrion Hamilton, 20. What are two 20-year-old kids doing dismembering a 55-year-old community guy, worker? What the hell is going on here? The van crashed into a backyard after a high-speed chase. Kramer has been charged with murder, resisting law enforcement, and abuse of a corpse. What did they do to the corpse? Oh, I see. Probably chopping it up because they dismembered it. Yikes. while Carry-On Hamilton has been charged with assisting a criminal, resisting law enforcement, and abuse of a corpse. So one of them did the murder, and he must have went and got the other one to help him get rid of it. Amazing how many people do that, huh? Whoa, look at these kids. One looks kind of out of it. One just looks sad and lonely and depressed. Look at these two. Hang on. Oh, it totally is, AJ, for sure. Look at these two. I'm going to guess this guy's the killer. Let's see if I'm right. So, oh, wait, I'm wrong, I think. Kramer's on the right. I think Kramer was the... Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, I'm wrong. This one's the killer. Then he went and got this guy. This looks like the kind of guy that would help you cut up a body. Creepy dude. I need to get rid of this body. Who do I call? I know, I'll call Jacob. Craziness, guys. Just craziness. What is this world coming to? Call my buddy. Help me chop up a body. No biggie. There it is. So during a search of the van, investigators reportedly found receipts for items including tarps, a hacksaw, and a large knife. Kramer and Carry-On Hamilton then returned to the storage unit where they allegedly dismembered Nguyen's body and loaded it back into the minivan. They had allegedly planned on disposing of his body but were spotted by police. Well, that's bad luck. Seems like every time you're just trying to chop up a body, the dang police just happen to be around. Am I right? Sorry, boys. Maybe next time play Dungeons and Dragons or something. There's a lot less penalties for that. Not according to Stranger Things, at least. He was able to bring people together. Father Nam Vu, a priest at St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Fort Wayne, told WPTA. He doesn't distinguish whether it's a Buddhist or Catholic, that was an Asian or a black person, or a white person or a Latino person. He got everyone. He respected them as human beings. A third man, initially identified by police in the search for the suspects, was taken into custody, but has since been released and has not been charged. While authorities continue to investigate Nguyen's murder, his family is focusing on getting justice. While we are still trying to process details of the senseless violence that took Shane's life, we are somewhat comforted to know that all three suspects wanted in connection with his passing have been arrested and are in police custody. We hope that these individuals are brought to justice. I don't know what would make those kids pick that guy. They look like they had nothing in common. He was an old guy that worked for like some church as a community organizer, 35 years older than them. And they go and murder him, and maybe they would just try to steal the van or something. I don't know. Craziness, guys, craziness. So a woman is found murdered in her bed after she donates a kidney. So who wanted her dead? Renee Pagel's murder went unsolved for 14 years until one phone call changed everything. The quiet town of Cortland Township, Michigan was rocked when local authorities received a disturbing 911 call from the father and stepmother of Renee Pagel. The 41-year-old mother of three had been found unresponsive in her bed on August 5, 2006. There was blood on her face and body and all over the walls and ceiling, even on the bed where she was laying. Detectives got to work investigating. Renee had been stabbed numerous times, but one wound in particular stood out to investigators, a slice across her palm, which suggested that she'd gotten cut while trying to fend off her attacker. Give me 1 second, guys. We got our second donation of the morning. Oh, Annette. How have you been, Annette? Annette comes through with $10. $10 from Annette. Toby has 2 treats because we're doing double treats today. So thank you so much to you, Annette. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, Annette. How have you been? I'm assuming you're in the channel. Oh, my nose is clogged. You gotta say thank you, Annette. Thank you, Annette. You're the best. And second one, good boy. What a good boy Toby is. Thank you, Annette. You rock. If anybody else would like to donate, that is the link right there in the chat. We appreciate you. Gets Toby 2 treats. Larry Bird is a legend. Love to hear it. Absolutely. Bird is the best. The cool thing about Bird, to me anyways, Magic looked like a dude that would be awesome at basketball. You know what I mean? Super athletic and all that stuff. Bird was like kind of goofy looking. Wasn't super. He was actually a lot more athletic than people kind of thought he was. But, you know, he didn't look like a guy that would be able to just kick ass around the basketball court. So watching him, you know, dunk on people and fly around them and just be so super creative with his passes was really awesome watching Bird. He was among the best ever, for sure. Like, to me, he's top 5. You could argue that for sure. You could definitely argue he wasn't because there's so many good players. But to me, he was top 5. You know, you got like Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic and Bird. Probably LeBron's there now. Personally, to me, Kobe's like 10 or in the top 10, top 15. A lot of people put him right up there with Jordan. I don't think he was. He wasn't as efficient. Took a lot of shots, and I don't know. To me, he seemed like a Jordan light, like almost as good as Jordan, but had the same exact style or something. But definitely great. I mean, definitely probably top 10, at the very worst top 15 to me. And that is like absolutely amazing. You know, people get mad at that, but think out of the thousands of people that have played in the league or the millions of people that have ever lived, top 10, that's great. Yeah, no, he was very talented, absolutely. Maybe it's because I'm a Boston fan, I'm a little sour at him. We should have had that game 7. Oh my God, when Perk went out and they beat us, we were up like 10 points or something with not that much time left. Oh, that kills me. That one, I hated Kobe from that point on. Oh, that killed me, that one. Thank you, Krabby. I appreciate that. About my new job. I am excited. Tomorrow night I start. Renee had been stabbed. Okay, so the 41-year-old mother of 3 had been found. So she gives a kidney that she's found dead in her bed. Okay, yeah, so she had a slice across her palm. Renee was in a fight for her life that unfortunately she lost, said E.J. Johnson, a detective for Kent County Sheriff's Department. It looked to be a crime of passion, judging from the state of the room. Someone wanted to hurt Renee, and it was up to investigators to figure out who and why. In recent years, Renee had been separated from her husband and had left her nursing career behind to teach at a technical center, which would allow her to spend more time with her kids. But even there, she'd still been helping people. Before her death, she'd selflessly offered to donate a kidney to the father of a student who desperately needed it and had underwent the surgery a mere 5 days before she was murdered. What an awful last week, huh? You got to go through a horrible surgery, get a kidney cut out of you just to help someone else, you know, being selfless. And then you get murdered right afterwards. Eesh. Talk about a bad luck of the draw. Wonder who did this. This is a long time ago. Renee's recent surgery is one of the first clues for detectives. Because she was likely bedridden at the time, she was probably weaker than usual and less able to defend herself, a fact her killer may have been aware of and even counted on. That's what I think. I think they knew she was sitting there all week. Whoever they were, they'd used a sizable knife to carry out the crime, but the weapon was nowhere to be found. Police began interviewing those closest to Renee. Her father said he'd last seen Renee the previous evening when he picked up the children to take them over to their father's house, which was around 15 minutes away from Renee's home. He'd also talked to her on the phone later that night when he called to check on her. Give me 1 sec, guys. I hear something. Just bear with me. Is Kobe your favorite of all time, Chris? I won't hold it against you if he was. We're all true crime heads. Let's not fight over sports, guys. Well, we're already at an hour. This one flew by. So Renee's father was able to give detectives their first possible suspect, Michael Pagel, who was her husband of 10 years. Oh boy, why is it always the husband? Why'd you go and marry them? It's always the husband or the wife. Why'd you go and marry them? Can't you just divorce him? They were in the midst of a messy divorce, and he'd wanted full custody of the children as well as the house. People really are very bad at thinking ahead in life, you know? Like, to sit there and have the thought, like, I want the kids full custody, so I got to get rid of the mother. Don't you factor in there's like a 98% chance you're going to get caught? Like, okay, there's maybe a 2% chance you get away with it, and you have the kids and no one ever knows. But the chances are so high that you get caught. Now you're in jail the rest of your life. Don't have your kids anyways. Now they don't have a mom. Like, how do you think it's just so easy to kill someone and then just like go on like nothing ever happened? You got to look at your kids for the rest of their lives. A lot don't because of his off the court actions. Ah, that's true, Chris. I wasn't even thinking of that. You're talking about the Kobe man, right? Some people love Kobe. I love Toby. Right, Kobe? He says, Kobe wasn't so great. I'm more of a Toby fan. So 7 weeks before she was murdered, a judge ruled in Renee's favor, and it was Michael who was going to have to get a good enough job to pay Renee. She got the kids. He wanted Renee to pay him an alimony of $2,000 a month, but he ended up having to pay. So that's a good motive. Investigators went to Michael's house only to find he wasn't at home, but his mother told him he'd been at his house playing with the kids on the night of the murder. When Michael returned, police gave him the news about Renee, but he didn't even react, they told producers. Instead, he handed them a card with his attorney's number on it. Thought that was extremely odd that Michael didn't want to dig further into what happened to Renee, the detective said. Ultimately, Michael conversed with his attorney and decided not to speak with police. Although it struck them as suspicious, they had nothing to tie him to the murder. When police served a search warrant at his home, they didn't find any evidence. Investigators soon learned that Renee had a strained relationship with her husband's brother, Charles. Ooh, this is getting spicy. Who was also known as Beau. The two didn't like each other to the point where Beau had even refused to be in the wedding because he didn't want his brother to marry Renee. During Michael and Renee's marriage, Michael had grown apart from Beau, but after the separation, the two rekindled their friendship, according to those close to the couple. Hey, so they started getting along. What a coinky-dink. I prefer Scottie Pippen. That's an interesting choice. Over the last latest LA players. Pippen was a great player, that's for sure. But do you mean he's your favorite ever? I've never seen anybody pick Pippen just because people always pick Jordan, he's right next to him. That's an interesting pick, but Pippen was amazing. But I think Pippen was like top 50 amazing, top 75, maybe like top 40. I don't know. Great player, though. One of the best defensive players ever, that's for sure. Ewing, yeah. Ewing was amazing. Was it Charles Oakley, is it? Charles Oakley? Yeah. You know what it is, Chris, is the Knicks were so good in their heyday. They had a good run, but they've been bad for so long that they've become like a laughingstock that no one even remembers those days now. It's kind of like the opposite of the Patriots, actually. The Patriots were the laughingstock of the league for like 40 years, of the NFL. And they had a few good seasons here and there, but no one really remembered any of their good players, They even had a few good runs with they got a decent quarterback here and there for a few years and whatever. But everyone just remembered that they had sucked for 40 years. But then Tom Brady came, and for 20 years, we were like, if not the top team in the league, we were right there. So everyone forgets those awful years now. But with the Knicks, it's kind of like the opposite, where they were really good for a while. Then they sucked for so long, made every awful decision. Stephen A. Smith's always joking about how bad they are that people forget. But yeah, Patrick Ewing is absolutely a top player of all time. Absolutely. I'm not like, when it comes to the NBA, I'm not like a super, I can't be like, Knicks have won 6 championships. I don't know offhand, but I'm sure Ewing must have won a couple, right? Let me see. Patrick Ewing, great player. You're right, though. I never even really think of him when I'm thinking of the greats. But if he's brought up, I'll be first to say, oh, yeah. Oh, he didn't win any. Wow. But the Knicks won some championships. He must have not been on the team, I guess. Well, he didn't win any, huh? Well, he was drafted in 85, which means he had to contend with Bird and Magic all those years. That was a hell of a time. New York fans only love you when you're winning. Same with Boston fans. I mean, they still love the team, but they're just brutal towards them because they expect winning. We win so much in Boston. We always have 1 or 2 teams that are right in it. Like if the Patriots suck that year, the Red Sox and the Celtics will be good. Or if the Red Sox suck, the Celtics will be good, and the Patriots might be good every year. So our fans are brutal when you're bad. Malone and Stockton, great. Stockton and Malone, probably the best duo to never win a title, I think. I mean, since now that I realize Ewing never did, he might be him and I don't know. I have to look at his teammates. I don't know off him. But I don't know, man. Malone and Stockton. Stockton was great. One of the best passers ever. The league was different back then, though. Like, Stockton wouldn't really be highly regarded today, I don't think. Because you got to be more well-rounded. Like, back in the day, if all you could do was block, if you were good enough at it, that's fine. Nowadays, you won't get on the court. But, if you could just block, hey, quiet, calm down. That's fine. Or like if all you could do was pass amazingly, that was enough, Now it's like you have to be pretty good at everything and then have one amazing skill. Back then, if all you could do was block, they just use you to block. Like big guys aren't nearly as important as they used to be back then. Now they want like agile big guys. Back then they wanted a big, bruising, muscular guy that could sit there and just block the net. But now that they shoot more threes and outside shots, and I'm no expert, but I know a little bit. Fun stuff. All right, guys. Well, we'll finish there because we're past an hour. This story I didn't realize how long this one is. I can't go through the whole thing, but in the end, Michael Pagel was found to be guilty. He was sentenced to 25 to 50 years in prison for the murder. So the son of a bitch waited till his wife gave a kidney and could hardly even get out of bed, and then he killed her. And since she had defensive wounds, it shows that she knew who was killing her in the end. One of the worst ways to go, right? Just awful. Awful, awful. All right, guys, this was a little bit of a disjointed show, kind of running around doing 5 things at once. So thanks for being with me. Thank you to Gunborg and Annette for donating. And thank you to everyone else for hanging out in the chat with us. Chris, Annie, both Chris's, Annie, AJ, and you guys, Jenny, Krabby Abby. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to end the show there. Make sure to join on the main channel tonight. My allergies are killing me right now. We will have an interview 9 p.m. tonight on the main channel. So have a great day. Join us at 9 p.m. on the main Jason Ebert channel. Be there or be square. All right? I love you guys. Take care. Thank you, AJ. Try to be there tonight if you can for the interview.